Good. Hi, gang. This is Daryl Davis. I'm here with a very famous person. I'm so excited. I told her I'm a little nervous. Her name is Sharon Letcher. For those of you who don't know, that means you've been in a coma for 20 years. But she has co-authored the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series of books. She's also written several with Napoleon Hill Foundation. Her most recent book is Think and Grow Rich for Women. Sharon, and you can find out more about Sharon on her website, Sharon Letcher. Let me just spell it for you, Lecchter. Okay, now, Sharon, thank you so much for doing this. I really do appreciate it.
Delighted to be here. Thank you.
You know, we're doing a seminar together. I dragged her into the room to do this real quick. So, Sharon, first of all, tell people you shared some current projects that you're working on, which is awesome and exciting. So what are those right now?
Well, Think and Grow Rich for Women came out early in June of 2014, so we're still very much promoting that book. I've just finished a college curriculum that I'm very excited about, so we'll be starting to market that. And kind of the highlight of my career, in January I've been invited to help introduce a bill into the U.S. Congress, and that bill will require anyone getting a federally backed student loan will be required to take financial education. If we're going to give them money, they need to understand how to use it. And so I'm very excited about that and looking forward to seeing and getting everybody to support, writing your congressman, telling them you think that it's a good idea, and that will be the pinnacle of my career. So,
you know, that's so interesting. The fact that you said, I want everybody to pay attention. This woman is so successful, written so many books, and the pinnacle of her career is contributing to children and education, and that says something about you. So,
thank you.
Yeah. All right. So here's a few questions I put together for anybody out there that considers himself an entrepreneur. What would you say? Because you've been around, you've seen so many successful people, you've helped people become successful financially. What would you say is that common ingredient, one or two, whatever you want to share, that in successful entrepreneurs, they seem to have this ingredient?
Well, in 3 Feet from Goal, which was the first book I did with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, we came up with your personal success equation. And I really think it encapsulates success, because most people think that they have the passion and they have the talent. That's all they need to build a business as an entrepreneur. And you do need that. You need your passion and your talent, but what's more important is finding the right associations, having the right people to support you and around you to help open doors for you, making sure you've got people that are doing the tasks that you should not be doing, your stop doing list, and then taking action. So many of us, we get excited and we're working really hard, and then we get tired and we stop working on our business, on the future of our business. So it's very important: passion and talent, right association, taking the right action, and then the last ingredient, which is I think really the defining difference, is faith. Having faith in yourself, having faith in what you're doing, having faith in creating a successful business, because the most successful businesses either solve a problem or serve a need. So ask yourself, what need are you serving? What problem are you solving?
That is awesome, and I love how you delivered it too. It's like number one, number two. That's made it easy for me to understand. I'm not a very smart person. So, all right. Now, the next question I have is, what suggestions would you have for a person to enjoy their business more, or even in their personal life? Because, as you said, when you've got all this, you're working, you're juggling, sometimes you kind of lose yourself. Your job can almost seem like a job. It kind of robs your joy. You're working just to get by. So any suggestions on how people can enjoy their lives more?
Well, one of the reasons I wrote Think and Grow Rich for Women is I wanted to debunk the myth of work-life balance, because there is no such thing. When you're balanced, you're not moving, and we're always moving. And so as an individual, you have your work, you have your family, you have your financial, you have your physical. All of that is who you are.
Yeah.
And so the last chapter of the book is One Big Life, is to stop worrying about this balancing act, which is never attainable, and start understanding to be present in everything that you do.
Wow.
And when you're present, then you're going to be able to enjoy it more. And when you get up in the morning, if you're tired because you spent too much time at the office yesterday, today, make a different choice, but always invest in yourself. And what happens is so many of us, we put ourselves last on the list, and that's when we get tired, we get cranky, we get frustrated, because we haven't been taking care of our number one asset, and that's ourselves.
That's awesome. And you know what? You're right. I've always heard and I say this in my seminars, you should have balance in your personal life, your business. But I love that concept. If you're balanced, you're not.
Particularly an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, your business is your life. And so you can't have a finite line between life and work, because your life is your work. And
Yes.
so it's something that you have to understand how to choose every day to
Yes.
be present in what you're doing.
That's brilliant. I'm not, I'm going to have this book. I'm keeping this book. I'm going to read that chapter. All right, now, let's see. Personally, I would like to ask you this. Is there I'm sure there was, anybody successful, they go through these moments in their business where they've had some challenges, and there's even a question, how am I going to get through this? So how did you get through any business challenges that you had that was a real roadblock for you, but you got through it anyway? And how did you do that? Yeah.
Well, I had two. We've all had several. So, but the two most notable. The first one was when I was 26, and when I decided to become an entrepreneur, and I chose to go into a new company, and it was the worst business decision of my life. But it was when I met my husband. So, you have to look for the good in everything.
Yeah.
It was the worst business decision, but it was the best life decision.
Yeah.
And then when I ended up deciding to leave the Rich Dad organization, it was the height of our success, but it was no longer in alignment with my own personal mission. And so after 10 years of a successful company,
Yes.
and at the top of the success, I chose to stand in my own power and be true to myself and left. And so the process was difficult, but I never looked back. So the issue is being true to yourself, true to your own personal mission, and keep your head up.
Now, without getting into too much specifics, but just to get people get clear on that, so you have a successful business with the Rich Dad Poor Dad series, but you found that it wasn't true to you personally anymore. So you left this very financially successful company to stand on your own. Did you have questions during that? Like, am I making the right decision? Or did you that whole time you did stay true to your own beliefs?
No, it took me probably a couple of years to make the decision to leave.
Okay.
I owned the company, so we were partners.
Yes.
And my partner wanted to go into a franchising model that I did not believe in. I didn't believe it was good for the franchisee. It was good for us.
Yes.
But I didn't believe in the model, and so
Okay.
that's when I really made the decision that no, I can't stand in good conscience in a company that is selling something I don't agree with. So that was the decision. I never looked back. The actual separation was not easy, but it was the right decision, and I never looked back.
And that's important. People just remember that you got to have integrity with yourself and your belief system, and live from that. So that's great. All right, here's the last thing I have, Sharon, and that is, as far as you working on your craft, your seminar, your training, your coaching, everything that you do, how do you stay sharp on your craft? Because you're traveling so much, and this might be a personal question for me. It's hard to, juggle it all. So how do you fine tune your craft? Is there something you do?
Well, my craft has lots of different pieces to it, so I need to stay informed. And
Yeah.
so long plane rides are a really good opportunity to stay informed, reading the papers and reading books, and making sure that I'm constantly current with what's happening. Every time I go and do a seminar, like this morning, I sat down and looked up things just to make sure that whatever I'm sharing with the room is the most recent information as it relates to women in business. And so, it's important for me to make sure that I'm at the top of my game. And I'm constantly writing.
Okay.
And in order for me to make sure I'm doing my best in writing, I don't do 30 minutes here and 30 minutes there unless it's just a blog post. But when
Okay.
I'm doing a book, I literally disconnect from the world and go somewhere, usually with an ocean, and sit and write for 2 or 3 days at a time so that I can dedicate myself to communicating through the words, not just writing them.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this so much. Sharon Letcher, the Rich Dad Poor, Think and Grow Rich. Sorry, Think and Grow Rich for women. Make sure you get this. This is incredible. And check out our website so you can see what else you can do to help you in your business. Thanks again, Sharon.
Thank you.
Everybody, don't forget to keep smiling. All right.